In this podcast episode, Dr. Garry Nolan, a distinguished immunologist, professor at Stanford University School of Medicine, and serial biotech entrepreneur, shares his unique journey from cutting-edge biomedical research to the controversial and often stigmatized field of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, commonly known as UFOs. The discussion traverses his scientific background, entrepreneurial ventures, pioneering work with artificial intelligence and atomic imaging, and ultimately his serious engagement with UAP research, including his involvement with government agencies and the establishment of the Soul Foundation. Dr. Nolan begins by situating himself firmly within the scientific community, describing his three-decade career focused on the immune system, cancer biology, and gene therapy. He highlights his early contributions to retroviral gene delivery techniques, notably the 293 T-cell method, which underpins much of today's gene therapy technology. His lab's work has consistently pushed the boundaries of cellular analysis, developing technologies that measure multiple parameters per cell, leading to the creation and successful exit of numerous biotech companies. More recently, Nolan has ventured into artificial intelligence and atomic imaging, developing novel instruments that combine proton atomic probe tomography with field ion microscopy to achieve sub-angstrom resolution and detailed bond structure analysis. This fusion of biology, technology, and entrepreneurship exemplifies Nolan's rare ability to marry creativity with practicality, a theme that recurs throughout the interview. He also reflects on the nature of scientific creativity, emphasizing intuition and pattern recognition over the traditional, linear hypothesis-driven model often taught in graduate school. Nolan describes the aha moments in science as distinct cognitive events akin to perceiving a new color, which arise from subconscious processing and are crucial to innovation. This insight into the scientific mind sets the stage for understanding how he approached the anomalous phenomena that would later capture his attention. Nolan's initial foray into the realm of UAP began with his analysis of the so-called Atacama mummy, a small, purportedly alien corpse found in Chile. Applying rigorous genetic and genomic techniques, he demonstrated that the specimen was in fact a human fetus with mutations explaining its unusual appearance. This work, while controversial, established Nolan as a credible scientist willing to engage with extraordinary claims. Unexpectedly, this led to contact from representatives of the CIA and an aerospace company who sought his expertise in analyzing medical cases involving individuals who had suffered unexplained harm. These patients included intelligence agents, diplomats, and military personnel who reported symptoms such as internal scarring and neurological effects, some of whom had been in proximity to UAP. Nolan initially approached these claims with skepticism, but was compelled by the consistency of the medical data and the psychological evaluations that ruled out mental illness. This cohort overlapped with what became known as Havana syndrome, a cluster of symptoms linked to directed energy attacks, likely microwave-based, on U.S. personnel abroad. While the Havana syndrome cases were eventually handed off to national security agencies, Nolan's curiosity was piqued by a smaller subset of individuals whose symptoms and experiences did not fit the known patterns. These cases involved physical manifestations such as skin scarring and radiative damage, often accompanied by credible eyewitness accounts of encounters with anomalous aerial objects. Nolan's scientific instinct to investigate outliers and anomalies drove him deeper into the study of UAP. Recognizing the need for a serious, open forum where scientists and academics could discuss UAP without fear of ridicule, Nolan co-founded the Soul Foundation alongside anthropologist Peter and former government official David Grush. The foundation aims to create a picket fence, or intellectual safe space for interdisciplinary dialogue, spanning hard science, anthropology, and even religious perspectives on anomalous phenomena. The foundation has hosted annual meetings attracting hundreds of attendees, including scientists, policymakers, and military personnel. Despite some institutional resistance, such as branding disputes with Stanford's administration, the foundation has gained traction and credibility. Nolan emphasizes the importance of open science and data sharing, particularly in the analysis of physical materials allegedly associated with UAP. One of the most intriguing aspects of Nolan's work involves the scientific examination of materials purportedly linked to UAP encounters. He recounts analyzing fragments from a 1950s incident on a beach in Ubatuba, Brazil, where a fisherman recovered pieces of a shattered object dropped from a UFO. The material was found to be 99.99% pure silicon, an industrial-grade purity not achievable at that time, and exhibited anomalous magnesium isotope ratios inconsistent with terrestrial sources. While this does not prove extraterrestrial origin, it strongly suggests an advanced manufacturing process beyond known earthly capabilities. Another case involved a 30-pound deposit of molten metal found in a frozen field in Council Bluffs, Iowa, following a reported UFO sighting. Nolan's analysis revealed a mixture of metals, iron, titanium, and aluminum, that was incompletely mixed, an unusual characteristic not consistent with known industrial processes or thermite. These findings, published in peer-reviewed journals, are presented without speculative conclusions, inviting the broader scientific community to engage with the data. Nolan discusses the core characteristics that define UAP as anomalous phenomena. These include instantaneous acceleration and deceleration at speeds and magnitudes that defy known physics, absence of conventional flight surfaces or exhaust plumes, and the ability to transition seamlessly between air, water, and space environments. Such capabilities imply control over inertia and momentum that current human technology cannot replicate. He also highlights the importance of repeatable observations and data collection, describing his involvement with Skywatcher, a privately funded initiative deploying sensor arrays in cleared areas to capture and analyze aerial anomalies. Skywatcher has recorded objects exhibiting behaviors inconsistent with drones or known aircraft, and intriguingly, the team has identified an electromagnetic signal that appears to attract these phenomena, offering a potential pathway to controlled study. The conversation touches on the evolving political landscape surrounding UAP disclosure. Nolan notes bipartisan efforts in the U.S. Senate, led by figures such as Senators Chuck Schumer and Mike Rounds, to establish oversight and transparency regarding UAP and related reverse engineering programs. High-profile statements from former intelligence officials and military leaders acknowledge the reality of unexplained aerial objects exhibiting extraordinary capabilities. Despite this, Nolan acknowledges the persistent stigma and institutional resistance within the scientific community and government agencies. He recounts being warned that his career could be jeopardized by his involvement in UAP research, yet he remains committed to pursuing the truth. His efforts to brief international bodies, including the Canadian and European parliaments, underscore the global interest and seriousness of the subject. Dr. Nolan's provisional conclusion is that there is indeed something non-human present on Earth, and it has likely been here far longer than human civilization itself. While he refrains from definitive claims about extraterrestrial origin, he stresses that the evidence warrants rigorous scientific investigation, free from prejudice or dismissal. He expresses discomfort with reports of biological entities resembling humans, questioning the evolutionary logic of such forms. Ultimately, Nolan calls for open-mindedness and scientific rigor, urging colleagues to set aside cynicism and engage with the abundant evidence and testimonies. He frames the phenomenon as a profound mystery that challenges our understanding of physics, biology, and history, and one that could have significant implications for humanity's future.